Hello friends, I'm Kernal Failure and this is Kernal Space Program. Now, in the last episode we had a little bit of a turnover in staffing and therefore we're going to start afresh today with a new pilot and hopefully give them just a smidge of experience so that they can go on to bigger and better things. I say hopefully because, as you well know, we did take a bit of a setback last time around. Anyway, we've got to put a new boat together. And we're going to start off with one of these characters because, as I'm reliably informed, we can stick two Kerbals in there. Nothing better than dealing with two of them at the same time. Now, I am tempted to stick a crew cabin on here as well, just so that our burgeoning tourist empire has a bit more get up and go. Once we cram some more passengers on board. But I think we'll test it first. I think we'll test it with no passengers on board initially, just to see what happens. I'm not even certain that sticking this big lozenge up front is a great idea, to be honest. But we're gonna give it a go anyway. Right, next up is going to be. Yeah, do you see? No, in for a penny, in for a pound. We're going to bang a crew cabin on there because that's going to make this well safe. We'll stick the. Now, one of the problems that we've previously encountered is in terms of the number of parachutes done. I think we go with the secondary chute option and not blow it up. I think is probably the way to go. As long as this whole shebang stays together, we should be absolutely glorious. We won't need a primary parachute. I've said it now. I've said that we won't need a primary parachute, and therefore I should probably put one on there. Now, hang on. How much does this actually weigh? That weighs a ton, and then my headgear that weighs a ton and a half. So right now this is going to flip upside down as soon as we try and do any kind of orbital maneuver. So what we'll go for, if I can remember wherever it lives, is we'll stick a heat shield down the bottom. Now that then takes us to that was 0.3 of a ton. So we've got 1.3 at the top, at the bottom, and still another ton at the top. So a ton and a half at the top. So it is still top heavy. You're gonna need more fandango on there, otherwise this heat shield accomplishes absolutely nothing. We could stick a second heat shield on it, or some science. Could put some science on there. Yeah, I mean, I am a little concerned about all of this because I now doubt myself incredibly. I tell you what, we should put the Science Junior on there, get that off, bang the Science Junior down here, which weighs some odd, 0.2, and then slap that on the bottom. Now show me my centre of gravity here. There we go. Centre of mass is right in the middle. No, it is closer to the top than the bottom. Going to need to bring the mass down ever so slightly, or well, by which I mean downwards in the rocket, ever so slightly in the ship. Let's go with one lot of goo. And if we plumb it in towards there, see, look, that's helped already. Now, I don't know if it's going to burn off or not. Let's assume it will, because we've burned enough stuff off in the past to know that none of this stuff is safe in the slightest. Right, we've put a couple of doodads on the outside. That should be probable. Now, what else could you do to actually put the weight further back? Don't know. Now I see. I mean, I could make it intentionally split into pieces and then trigger all of the parachutes remotely, but I don't think I can actually pull that off. So we're not going to do that. Right. This is just a bad idea. Right. Let's get some. Let's stick a nose cone on there and see how badly that shifts. Quite a lot. Do we not have a more svelte nose cone? No, we don't. Okay, well. Now, I mean, we're going to. This is pushing the weight up even further. But we could very well. We could stick another heat shield on the front like that, or maybe a smaller one, Right, get it like so. Right, and that I don't exactly know how much protection that's going to confer on the situation, but you stick that on there, and then we work towards it definitely being top heavy. So if we slide all of this lot further forward as well, I mean, I don't think that's going to accomplish very much, really, is it? But we'll try it anyway. Right, slap all that up there. So we're working on this being top heavy. We'll get the heat shield off the bottom. Right, so it's going to tilt. This is going to go head down, and that's all good. Now I'm going to want to put a. You're going to like this. We're going ever so slightly experimental with this business. Stick one of those on there. Yep, and then give me some aerodynamics. Stick one of them on the top of that. Right, so. When we're going up, we've got all of this business attached, and then when we're coming back down, we'll pop the nose cone off because we don't need it anymore. And then hopefully we could point it in the right direction so that heat shield does its job. I'm going to move to a bigger heat shield. I think let's put the full business on there. Now then, for those of you who are new to the series, you might be going, what the heck is he doing? And the answer is really very simple. I'm largely finding my own feet, finding my own way through the universe, and we're seeing how far we can get. Oh, look at that! That's an elegant beast, isn't it? This looks like a table lamp. Yes, it does. Right, okay, now then. Yes, so I may be proceeding in an unconventional fashion, but I'm playing this as though it were the 1980s, and therefore the internet didn't exist, and the tips held in magazines were absolutely useless. So you're left with whatever it is you can figure out for yourself. So that's exactly how I'm playing this, is what I can figure out for myself. I did do a little bit of I watched one video on how to get a little bit of extra science for last episode, purely because I was fed up of not having any science. So I got a little bit of science, and that made life better. Right then, that's jet fuel. That's no good to us, and that's also liquid fuel. That's jet fuel as well. So we'll just we'll bang on a couple of these lads because we like them. Are we going with 3? We are going with 3. We're starting to get quite large. Yes, we are. Right, that's second stage. Is it second stage? Orbital stage, let's say. Bang a swiveler on the bottom of that. Right, hold on. Have we got a disconnect in there somewhere? Where are you? Yep, that's all connected up. And then, oh, I wonder if putting a jet engine into start. No. You're being foolish now. You're going to want another separator in there. Disconnector, decoupler. That's what they call them. Bang another decoupler in there, and a bit more fuel. Yep, take it all the way to the ground. It's all right. I'll give you some struts so that everything goes brilliantly. Shall I pull this up a little? There we go. Going to need a bit more space. Yeah, I think this is going to be the tallest one I've made. I am slightly concerned about both weight and number of components, because we're going to be, if we haven't hit the limit already, we're definitely going to be hitting it pretty soon. Right, okay, and then do we need, but bang another swiveler on the bottom of that. Good, couple of radial pop-offs. Yep. Symmetry that sucker, please. Yeah, bang it on like that. And then, you know it, I know it, we're going with thumpers, because obviously we are. Right, slap that on there. I don't think this is going to be punchy enough to go full bore and get us an orbital path. But for now, I will accept. Does it go up, and can we recover everyone when it comes back down? I've got enough science whatnot on board. That's not really flush on there, is it? This is a swine. Now, I mean, with any of these building systems, you have to say you have to say what do you have to say? Hold on, wait. Can we do it this way around? I've never tried that. No, you can't, so get over it. Alright. What did you have to say? Oh, I have to say that it does its best, but it's not easy to you know, build in this arena. Right, fling a couple of nose caps on there. Groovy. Get me something to give me any form of basic aerodynamics in the slightest. I don't honestly know what's going to help. There's so many different wings to choose from now, and I'm not building a plane. I am building a rocket ship like Buck Rogers used to have. Right, how's that looking? Where's my weight now? Right, weight is well down. Is it? Yes. So that should stay pointing up while the weight is down. It suddenly occurs to me that I know why I've been having problems. As this fella rinses through the fuel tank, it empties the fuel tank, thereby, in fact, if we drop the liquid fuel out of that, yeah, like that, that should move up. Drop all of the liquid fuel. Yeah, you see, the center of gravity starts moving forwards. Ha, yeah, and that is why. I mean, I know this is probably obvious to many of you, but that is why midway through the flight, all of a sudden it becomes incredibly unstable and we start falling back to Earth. Right, okay. Well, I say falling back to Earth, we start pointing directly towards the planet's surface. So, if I were to save... you still want to use main engine at the start, though. Okay, I've got an idea. It's alright, we're going to be fine. Alright, move you into there. Right. We'll set your burn coefficient for max burn. I don't want to limit it too much. We'll set max burn to 60, and then even then I won't throttle up particularly until my solid rockets are done. Then we pop the solid rockets off the sides, at which point we very much are going to be front heavy. So you had better hope that you have cleared atmosphere by that point, otherwise the drag from that is going to fling you straight back round again. Oh, he's good, isn't he? Hasn't he just determined exactly how this flight's going to go? Are you going to change anything? No, actually, I'm now keen to see if I'm correct. Right, so there's me second stage engine. Then we get rid of that. Then we get rid of the nose cone. Then we deploy the chute. Then what? No, that's not what we want to do. Oh, that's the nose cone popper, is it? No, surely not. That's the nose cone popper. So what's this? What's that disconnecting? I'm going to put you in your own group there, Tiny, purely because I don't know what you're for. Bang on, we chutes in there. Those 3 radial chutes should be more than enough to slow us to a halt. Hopefully. What are you for? What have I missed? I've missed something. I haven't missed anything. What's that do? Does this come with an inbuilt ejection system? No, not so as you'd know. Right, there we go. I think it looks magnificent. I think it's one of the safest things that I've built today. Yeah, I think we're going to die, but that's okay. This is going to need a good name. It needs a strong. This is going to be the vacant torpedo alpha complex. Right, complex. Save it. Crew the sucker. Now, if we get this right, then we should be able to do a little bit of research while we're up there, because Bob's on board to do a bit of science for us. That'd be nice. I don't think orbit's going to happen. I just want to see if we can actually get airborne without spinning the rocket out of control. It has all of the same problems as the last one. with none of the downsides. I also ought to put some. I think we're going to be well over limit here, so this might come as a crashing bore in a moment. Right, give me some of those. Give me. Yeah, I got pair on. Right, okay, good. Where do you want it? Well, let's go over here. Where? Like this, like on there. On, no, wait. Would you please? There you go. Just about there. Just to stop it toppling over until we're good and ready to go. Good. Yeah, that's those. That's those. Where's my declamp? Declamp. That's probably a little late for declamping. We'll go for declamp here. No, we'll go for main engines on, and then we'll declamp immediately. What? Don't. You now come into there. Look, everything was working fine until you started getting clever. That's main engine fire, which we'll do at the same time as declamping. Okay, that's fine. So we'll fire the boosters. Typically NASA does it the other way around, but what do they know? And what sort of angle have you got here? I think we should probably hutch you down a little bit. No? Okay, probably hutch you up a little. All right, okay. This feels like it's going to fall over on the launch pad. I'm itching to launch the thing, but look at it. It doesn't feel at all safe. Not even slightly. Would you mind? Thank you. Right, take that down to ground level. Grab the whole thing. There you go. Down we go. Down to ground level. Up just a smidge. How's that? Right, main engine is now resting on the ground. Now grab this. Let's try and get it. Turn some snap on, would you? Clamp it about there. Close enough. Right, okay, good. So now we'll put main engine down in there. We'll put the boosters in that one. And then we'll detach those, fire the boosters, all at the push of a button. And then I'm checking this now rather than on the launch pad, which makes a change. Then we pop the sides, then we pop the main engine, then we fire the next engine, then we pop the secondary engine off, then we pop the nose cone, then we fire the chutes, then we push that if all else fails. Okay, cool. Right, good. Yes, vacant torpedo, Alpha Complex. That's the Tiger that we're firing here. Let's get to the launch pad. Yep, there we go. Can't support vessels with over 30 parts. Good. Parts counter. How many have I got then? Alright, well, 2, 4, 6. So that's the solid rocket boosters are 6. 8 is 2 of them. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. Decoupler 13. Engine 14. 15, 16, 17. Decoupler 18, 19, 3 chutes, 22. You're on here 23. It's got to be close. 3 experimental bits around the other side, 26. Decoupler, no. Pod 27, 28, 29. Oh, hold on, 30, 31. I'm 1 over, if my counting is correct, which, you know, there's no certainty of that in the slightest. Let's get the goo container off and see if that... Well, goo's worth big money. Get rid of the thermometer. Save it. Go. Nope. Alright, what's next? What else do we take off? Alright, the barometer. Take that off. Save it. Go. Alright, I was 2 over. Okay, alright, fine. That was just science. We're bringing Bob along to do some science, and if he has less to do, well, so be it. Good. Right. Excellent. And then we shall just triple check, because if this goes wrong, it won't be because I haven't wired it up properly. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Don't fire that until the right time. Okay. Parachutes, yeah. Whatever that does. Good. I might just have an extra ejection cap on there. Don't know. I possibly ought to have an injection system to get rid of the heat shield as well. possibly. Remember, we're going to pop the ejection, and that's going to go face down. And you're going to burn to a crisp everybody who's on board. Right, let's set the throttle to something appropriate. What, you think 25%? Well, yeah, that fuel's got to last. So yeah, absolutely. Right, Haydo has the stick. We're about ready for liftoff. Hello, viewer. I'm Kernal Failure, and you're in the middle of an episode of Kernal Space Program, which is the current exclusive series I offer to backers of this channel. Now, I've inserted this advert here because I'm fairly certain that you'll want to see what happens next. And don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging. You will get to see what happens next, and it's tremendous, as I'm sure you can imagine. Anyway, I'm just inserting this here because this is episode 16 in the series. There are 15 more episodes that you can go and watch right now by becoming a backer of this channel. Prior to this series, there are 3 series of Motorsport Manager, where Bulldozer Power continue their quest for glory. And it goes really, really, really well, as I'm sure you can imagine. Once this series of Kernal Space Program is done, I'll move on to another game, and that game will be chosen by the backers of this channel based on a selection that I provide. If you choose to back the channel today for just $1 a month, you can watch all of these exclusive videos immediately. No messing around, no waiting, you can watch them right now. If you opt to stump up $5 a month, well, you get the choice to do that on Patreon or here on YouTube by clicking the join button. That not only gives you access to all of the exclusive gameplay videos that I've done, but also you get my monthly vlog, which I just ramble at you for 45 minutes. Some people quite like it. Your mileage will obviously vary. You also get access to my Discord channel, where you can talk to me on a regular basis, or you can take part in Bad Company's multiplayer exploits, which are always good fun and filled with like-minded people. There are options to back the channel for a little more over on Patreon if you choose to do so. I'm not going to go into that now. You can decide for yourself if that's something you want to do. For the price of 1 cup of coffee from a multinational corporation, you can back this channel and get a whole bunch more videos as a result of that. Thank you for sitting through this commercial. You may now return to watch what happens next. Right, I've stuck the RCS and the SAS on for reasons. Everyone's pretty thrilled back here. Bob looks pretty excited. They're both G'd up. Let's face it. Right. Blast off. 5, 4, 3. Go. So far, so good. Now, I am tempted to try an angle here, but I mean, Haydo's a complete clown, so who knows. I'm easing it just a little bit. There you go. If you ease it, no, there we go. This is already failing. We're 2 kilometers up. We got quite a lot of bend on the front of the ship. Go on Haydo, get it under control. Get it under control, man. I don't want to pop these boosters until they have finished their bit. Go on, get her pointing skyward, man. Skyward. We've got some altitude to play with. Right, get rid of them. Now let's see if we can't angle ourselves in a. Oh, that's dramatic. There you go. Nope. Okay, we are going down here. All right, kill the engine. Get rid of it. Get rid of that as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. Keep going. Shoots. Okay, right. Yep. There's some gravity. Well, they went off quite nicely, didn't they? Alright, what did we do there? I think it was the manoeuvring. I think we can probably have another swing with exactly the same rocket, and this time we shall endeavour to do no manoeuvring whatsoever. We'll just let it go straight up, and then once we start to get into thinner atmosphere, then we shall go for something thinner. Meanwhile, let's do some science. Observe. Open the materials bay. Boop, 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 boop. Right, good. Do the science. 0.8 of science there. Alright, well, we'll keep that then. Yeah, thanks. Close the doors again. Perfect. Good. That was well worth it, Bob. You're a ruddy genius, mate. Somehow I'm paying you. You've spent an awful lot of time just sitting around, and now when it comes time for you to actually do something for the good of curbing kind, you haven't bothered. Very tempting to now push this button and just fire these two idiots into the floor, but I'm not going to. In fact, well, where is... That's there, look. This neck piece does appear to have an inbuilt ejection system. Curious. I'm not going to do that though, because that would just be cruel. Right, let's get them back on the ground, and we'll give that a second swing, and see if we can get somewhere without any intervention this time round. Arguably, this might land quite cleanly. This might land very nicely indeed. Might not. The goo pod might fall off the side. Oh, hold on. Let's get the altitude right, shall we? Oh, yeah, 90 meters. It's always worth remembering that before you come into land. I always say, let's set that on the launch pad this time and see if that helps. I suspect strongly we're going to get exactly the same effect, but we'll see. The ground's not exactly level. Everything's fine. Everything's less than fine. Everything's fine. Going for a little roll? No, there's too many flappy bits around the outside. Recover my space vessel. Well, that could have gone worse. I mean, nobody died. Okay, right. Next. Yeah. Yep. Right. Okay, same deal, please, team. Exactly the same. Really? Are you sure about doing it exactly the same way? You could move your solid rocket boosters up, which would shift your weight a little bit. No, you don't want to shift the weight that way. You want to shift it further back, if anything. Nah, leave it. Let's just go as is. All right. Okay, fine. We'll go as is and see what happens. If the worst case scenario, we go back to one of the things that actually worked. Maybe I go and find exactly which rocket it was that managed to get us into orbit, and deploy that again for a second go. Thrust limiters at 60. That's good. Right, is everybody feeling confident? Let's switch that over now. Okay, and blast off. 5, 4, 3. Release. Whoa, let's turn these on. There we go. Right, this is all on you, Hado, old chum. Get us up there. In fact, let's give it some more grunt. Yeah, that's let's go for max energized takeoff kind of facility here and see if you can hold it together. You see, I didn't touch nothing there. Not a sausage. And he's lost control of the stick already. Oi, keep your hands on the wheel, mush. This isn't going to go well. I mean, I referenced Buck Rogers earlier on, but honestly, I didn't want to see you flying around in orbit like some kind of clown, and yet, that's what you're doing. Right, get a shot of those. Although, bizarrely, those might actually have helped. Not only did they have the stabilising fins on there, they also... they added a bit of weight down the bottom. Alright, let's kill the thrust. Let's get rid of that. Let's fire this thruster. There you go. Give it max thrust. See if we can get anywhere. I know we're sinking, but we're now in hover. Okay, we're going up again. Right. Okay, now it's working. I mean, we're not going to get very high.
Apologies, I don't understand.
Yeah, thanks, Google Assistant. Now is really not the time. Okay, well, we're going up. I'm gonna absolute. Whoa! That's gonna be the fuel. So the fuel just tipped past the. Oh dear. Right, I need you to get into something like that. Kill the engine and get rid of it. There we go. Okay. Let's do some science. Easy now. There we go. Open the doors. Right, come on. Quick. And have a look at the stuff. Oh, interesting. Yeah, fascinating, isn't it? And then close the doors. There you go. Check the goo. Check the goo. It's not going to be worth anything. Oh no, 0.1. We'll take it. At this stage of proceedings, everything is worthwhile. Alright, I am going to have to go back to the drawing board with this, because it's... If I can't even do orbit a second time, then I mean, what good are we? I need to do orbit. I need to get Hado the experience that he so desperately requires to be able to actually pilot anything respectably. How fast are we going? Oh, hold on. Get rid of the nose cone. There you go. Tell you what, deploy the chutes. I mean, we weren't really aiming for a Halo opening here. I bet they look forward to that on there. They go like, oh, this is going to be absolutely grand. This is. Yes. Anyway, there you go. That's somewhat going to wrap it up for today, which is disappointing. I had hoped I'd be able to get this up and airborne, and I haven't. So there's that. But I think what I'll do is in between this episode and the next, I shall experiment with the existing rocket that has completed its mission successfully, and see if I can't just get either a crew compartment or this lozengey big noggin attached to it, so that we can do some science and what have you. Anyway, I've been Kernal Failure. This series exists because of your generous support, and yeah, we're never going to make it to the moon at this rate. In fact, I don't really want to make it to the moon. Not yet. The next thing I want to do is I want to build a space station. Why? I hear you cry. Well, then I can do endless quests up into the sky just to bolt stuff onto it, and just see how big a space station I can make that is woefully impractical. Anyway, tune in next week where we will be more successful. Well, I mean, we can't be any less successful than we were last week, so you know that's the only thing to really consider there. And do you want to see it land? I mean, we've seen it land already, and I suspect we'll be all right. There we go. There's the shadow. Here's the pod. I'll get ready to crop this down. 40, 30, 20, slowing down to 1 times, and crunch, and stay upright. Excellent. Looks like some kind of specialist pipe. Cheerio!